freestyle is like people that like classical music. Oh, I'm a freestyle guy. I like almost like it's a fight out in the parking lot, you know. And folk style. How many times did you watch one of them matches and think to yourself, I wonder who would win between them two guys in a wrestling match? You ever?
We got to talk about the Burroughs Mesenbrink match.
Yeah,
and just the whole Burroughs situation overall.
And all the things that Jordan has done for this sport, and true wrestling fans know. Yes,
does the whole arena care about anyone else enough to boo them on their way out? Like, I mean, could we possibly have the end of Jake?
I don't want to root too much for Oklahoma State because they are loaded and coming. And of the portal winners, Oklahoma State, this is the biggest threat to Penn State this coming year. Heck, over on the Hawkeye report, there's rumors. Teamer
like Tom Brands and the new Iowa AD.
She's doing the whole wrestling at Iowa no favors, and she might be on
the football program for
trip.
that case.
She might be on a power trip. Look, nobody's gonna mess with me. The watch.
Come on, dude. We all know that.
Of all the wrestlers,
play. Dude, Iowa. I got good news, Tom. Hang on, Tom. Right now, Tom. If you can hang on.
Just hang on, Tom.
16 more years or so, Tom. I'm coming. We're coming. There's going to be a Beaver Hawkeye, baby. All right, folks. Welcome back to BEG Wrestling. We are here with kind of a new guest. Why don't you introduce yourself and
wow.
Don't tell me you're one of these bully Penn State fans.
No, please. Look, I almost forget how to do this, dude. It's been like a month. I had a little PTO time.
PTO, yeah.
I mean, give me a break.
A lot of wrestlers out there not taking PTO.
No, I tell you right now, I do feel like this is the very first episode. Seriously.
Are you refreshed?
I guess I missed all that action. The thing is I hope this is gonna. Wow, there's no telling how bad this could be. I'm lost. My mind's lost already.
Well, we have a lot of things that we have to cover. Okay, Olympic trials, US Open. We got fan action going on here. We got transfers, coaching changes.
I missed all of this fantastic freestyle action that was going on the other day. Just the other day, the US Open was happening, the U20s, and I said, yeah, I probably watch that TV. I said to my wife, and she says, oh, I got it on. For some reason, they started out with the heavyweights already. And I went and looked, what? It's not on yet?
Unbelievable.
And here it was Masson, and it was sumo wrestling. And she said, well, isn't that the same thing? Wow! Yeah. Hey, if I get to complain about freestyle too much, I was going to bring a whistle for you to blow a whistle every time I was talking bad about the... You know what freestyle is?
I enjoy it.
It's like this. Freestyle is like people that like classical music. Oh, I'm a freestyle guy. And then us folk style guys, we just like rock and roll, okay? Or something. Or country, whatever the classical... Dude, I don't even want to get started. I don't even want to get started, Zach.
I'll tell you how I feel.
Roly-poly.
I'm honestly about as 50-50 as you can get because I just appreciate the difference in both. And, man, in freestyle, dude, anyone can lose any match. And we saw that with David Taylor going down to Aaron Brooks, which, by the way, you predicted, but we'll get into it. Bold predictions. By the way, I also predicted Spencer would win.
That's right.
Hot dog, you might want to listen to the podcast. But
wow. That was cool with Spencer running up and giving the mom a hug.
US Olympic team trials in wrestling. Women's freestyle 57 kilos. Spencer Lee.
The family members of Spencer Lee.
That was sweet justice. And you knew this was going to happen. Do I have any worries about Spencer or Zane going to that last chance. I don't.
So after this tournament, the winner will need to fly to Turkey on May 9th and win that tournament for our country's representative to gain entry to the Olympics.
They got to get top 3.
Okay.
I don't.
Let's jump right into it. Yeah, because, I mean, the Olympic trials recap, it was Spencer Lee winning 57 and Zane knocking off Nick Lee to win 65. I was going to ask you later, get into it now. What are the chances of qualifying in Turkey?
Oh, I feel quite good about it. I think Spencer looks good, but I think he's on a mission. And, and rightfully so. Everything he went through, everything the mom went through, heck, we were even making fun a little bit. Although, to be honest, we explained, we understood. We understood what was going on here. I said that if my kid would have been losing and 17,000 people would have been yelling, would I have gotten angry? Yeah.
Yeah, would those glasses have lasted? I don't know.
I don't know, but that was neat to see. I mean, you think of all the work and discipline
bringing it full circle.
They went through, and for the record, with freestyle, I like freestyle. Don't get me wrong. I prefer folk style. I prefer the more combative sport. I like almost like it's a fight out in the parking lot, And folk style reminds me of that more. You have to control that guy. It's more of a technical thing with freestyle. Well, if you got the legs, I've said all along, if they just put a limit on how many times have you seen a freestyle match, and after it was over, because it ended quickly, he got a leg lace and bloop, 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 bloop. And,
yeah, I mean, that's...
And how many times did you watch one of them matches and think to yourself, I wonder who would win between them two guys in a wrestling match? You ever?
No, I never actually thought that. No.
Yes.
I thought, wow, he got him today.
Well,
dude. But hey, listen. While we're on the Olympic trials, it was Spencer and Zane. You're telling me they got a good chance in Turkey.
Yes, I like their chances, and I like
the United States of America.
Yeah, and I like the U.S. chances at the Olympics. I think it's a solid team. My heart goes out to David and Jordan. I mean, they were.
Well, we'll get into it. 74 kilograms. It was Cael Dake who's representing us.
Yep.
And Touche, I think we all feel pretty confident about Cael Dake.
Well, the thing about Cael, and Nolf is one of the best in the world. He is, but it's like he needed a different game plan. He went into this Nolf series the same as the previous Nolf series, and he's not getting in. He's not getting to the legs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you got to start training stuff together or putting stuff together to be able to get in there. Sometimes you're going to get burned because Dake is so crafty with whether it's the chest wrap or whatever. I don't.
Maybe you just have to wait for Cael to retire. And, I mean, I'll kind of get into that. But before it was Cael Dake winning in the finals, we got to talk about the Burroughs-Mesenbrink match.
Yes.
And just the whole Burroughs situation overall. But more specifically, the Burroughs-Mesenbrink match might have been my favorite match of the year.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, of the year, dude.
Well, I'll put it this way. I said, by the way, that was the most loaded American tournament of all time. The trials
of all time.
Wow. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, that's why I want.
How could it have been more loaded? Now, here's the thing, and here's the part. Maybe it's part the team element really isn't there. The duels element isn't there, and that's two very big elements when it comes to fan involvement and stuff. But I think of the difference of me watching nationals and then me watching the trials. With me watching the trials, there was just a few times it got me out of my seat, excited. With me watching nationals, I barely sat. But one of them times when I did get excited and out of my seat was that Mesenbrink Burroughs match, yes. And the thing is with Mesenbrink, you could say, well, he brought that on, that head push at the end. He brought that on and everything. Let's be honest. Mesenbrink didn't break any rules. He walked close to the line. It's almost like a game plan of, I'm going to take this guy out of his composure here.
Oh, no,
I'm going to get him mad and
and
it's not a bad game plan.
It is the game
and
plan.
I'll tell you right now, all the things that Jordan has done for this sport, and true wrestling fans know how much Jordan Burroughs, he kind of carried this sport and elevated it himself with all of his accomplishments, a decade ago. But
I've talked about it.
But the thing is even though he deserves a tremendous amount of respect and everything, during a match, this is sports, and anything goes, and we're not changing something because you have this gigantic reputation and all the things you've done.
That's true.
Anything goes. And, it's like they were talking about the booing of Burroughs. Same thing. It's sports. And they're kind of in their home building there. You're going to get boos if that's not your home building. They're going to try to help their wrestler all they can. Now, the one thing, because of everything Jordan Burroughs has done and everything, you kind of wish the whole crowd, as he was walking off the mat, gave a standing ovation. That would have been classy.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, I'm going to be real honest with you. I think what people we're talking about Jordan Burroughs, dude. This dude has, we all know his reputation. Okay, if I'm Jordan Burroughs, do I really hate the fact that the fans and the whole entire arena is booing me? Dude, because that means that they care that much about me. Hate me or love me, dude. If I'm Jordan Burroughs, I secretly kind of love it because I'm like, dude, first of all, the whole arena isn't booing booing against you unless you're a big deal, dude. And does the whole arena care about anyone else enough to boo them on their way out? I'm Jordan Burroughs, man, in a low-key way, it's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Dude. You're that dude.
It was kind of a perfect storm leading up to, the Bo, Nickal, Burroughs exchanges that were going on.
Yeah, you had the Penn State
and then the Burrow comment about this Carter knee and stuff. The Penn State fans were a little flared up, and then their beloved new stud Mesenbrink comes out, and that head push, quite honestly.
And to be honest, Mesenbrink is my favorite new wrestler. So, hey, as much as I love Mesenbrink, dude,
Mesenbrink's game plan could have worked to perfection with a different ref, because Burroughs could have got himself DQ'd with that head push.
That's true.
And Mesenbrink didn't technically break any rules. He was pushing the limit. He was doing things to make Burroughs mad. And I'm saying that Burroughs' reputation might have bought him they gave a caution and won.
Sports.
He gave up a point from that head push.
Could you imagine if the ref DQ'd Jordan Burroughs for that? Now we'd have a complete outcry the other way, dude.
Well, it just goes to show that you're out to win. There's all kinds of angles you can come from.
Reputation matters, and that's back to my original point. Burroughs should understand, ultimately, that's a sign of respect. The fact that the entire arena is booing you is kind of a sign of respect.
Well, and
if they didn't even care enough if they didn't care, now that would be disappointing.
Well,
if no one did anything.
Okay, you have your true wrestling fans, and you have your new bandwagon jumpers. All this success at Penn State and stuff, and a bunch of people are just jumping on because it makes them feel big, stick their chests out. My team's a 13-time champion, whatever.
They're all
the true wrestling
like
fan.
Cael Sanderson. No.
Like me, I'm a Penn State fan, but I'm a wrestling fan ahead of a Penn State fan. The trials were fun. Don't get me wrong, but to me, I'm still bubbling over the Nationals.
Okay, I got to say a couple things because I met Tom from Tom's wrestling page, man.
That's right.
I met Bob McCauley. I use all his pictures. Bob, unbelievable. Thank you.
Tom is a legend.
Was an honor.
Tom's a legend.
Mark Husser. Yeah, I know.
For years, Pennsylvania wrestling and Tom, actually Pennsylvania football too. Tom Ealing is a legend in Pennsylvania, and same with the other
Bob McCauley.
Yeah,
had the pleasure of meeting both of them, and Man, it was cool. I enjoyed the trials. I mean, you did have the four all the different styles going, but in a way, I didn't even mind it because if they were all four, the freestyle, then I'd have a hard time.
Well,
keeping up.
You agree with me in the sense that we just need to market this better. I mean, can't you have the Greco on these specific mats, the freestyle on these specific mats, and the thing is don't shove something down my throat I don't want to watch. Them 12 people that's in the country that like Greco, they can go watch. They can go watch. I'm just kidding. But hey, all I'm saying is it could have been bracketed better. I think Flo pointed that out, and that was absolutely like Ben pointed out how the brackets were wrong. Could not agree more, by the way, Ben. But just how it was run. And a thing that Pyles brought up, which was an excellent point when it comes to marketing the sport. Why didn't they have a Final X then? They could have had a whole week that the best of 3 series is coming up, all these big names, and you jammed everything in, and it's like, dude, UFC has gone like this because they know how to market things.
They understand it's a business, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but this is a make it a business, a profitable business. Yeah,
you got to sell this.
Build up hype.
And people in charge, I mean, how about this? Hand that responsibility over to somebody else, because right now, people are dropping the ball. I don't know.
I'll take it.
And the thing is Flo mentioned that they bracket wrong the previous year, and they did it again. It's like, it's frustrating, but I don't want to come off as little whiner. It's still wrestling.
Okay, we get your point. Yeah, it is wrestling. We talked about Spencer. We talked about Zane. We talked about Dake. We didn't really get into Brooks over David Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one thing I saw, and I was there live, and it looked like that literally in the first match, the first exchange, that takedown exchange at the edge of the mat, Taylor was in a very awkward position. In real time, I said, dude, it looks like he hurt something. And I don't know. David Taylor never looked the same.
Dude, I wanted to go watch that again and couldn't find it. Because if I remember that right, his head actually got slammed. I mean, Brooks slammed him, and it makes me think of Shapiro, and it makes me think of Yanni. Because they took concussions, and, concussions isn't something that just goes like this. It can be lasting for quite some time. And I'm saying that we've seen the effects of the concussion in both Yanni and Shapiro. I know Cornell Kelvin would probably agree with me on
verify that, but
yeah.
It's either that. Okay, you're saying maybe it was a concussion. I'm saying, I'll tell you what I saw. Aaron Brooks, who's been wrestling for 2 days straight, and David Taylor, who hasn't been in a competitive match, and then they come out, and Brooks hits him and maybe tweaks something, and dude, Taylor's not even warmed up before he's already kind of tweaked and hurt.
Yeah.
And before he knows it, dude, Brooks is a dog, dude. You ain't going to just walk in there. And, I mean, to me, it looked like Taylor never hit top speed. It looked like he never even got to top speed before he got tweaked.
I couldn't agree more. And here's the thing. These kids coming up, and the Brookses of the world, and the Mendezes and all of them, dude, they're such dogs. You can't do this part-time anymore.
No.
You got to be fully devoted. And David's got so much irons in the fire, whether it's his farm, whether it's his club, whether it's he's got, I don't know how many businesses he's got.
K2
and
Roots.
It worked. It worked for a while. In fact, he got a gold medal doing things part-time. But remember, this is a guy that's done no wrestling, and you say, well, I'm in the best room with the best talent in the world, and so I am wrestling. It's just not at a tournament. It's not the same, I'm telling you. It's still the same guys that you're going up against. You got to go against strange wrestlers
Different
to kind of
style.
expose things that you need to sharpen.
Kind of getting your own little echo chamber. You're wrestling the same people.
Yes. And the thing is it's just it broke your heart because if it wasn't Brooks, David would go to this Olympics and it probably beat Yazdani again and get a second gold.
That's what I mean. I don't know if it was the whole difference of like all the off seasons. I think it might have literally been the difference of like, dude, if David Taylor would have had one match beforehand and just felt that speed.
Yeah, I
dude,
agree.
Brooks just came from in straight up dogfight. How many dogfights in a row? He walks out there, dude. He might as well be walking. He's in the middle of another dogfight, and David Taylor walks out there like.
Well,
he just signed his Nike deal, dude. Like,
we see that with NFL teams. They have a bye week. They earn their bye week.
Yeah, it's not always beneficial. Like,
no, it hurts.
There's
to be in that like your timing's on, your groove's on.
Yeah.
Like it's just I couldn't agree with you more, Zach. You're
glad
dead
we
on
made that
right
point.
there.
We talked about Spencer and Zane, Kyle Snyder and Mason Parris were at 97 and 125. Wait a second. And then I have one final overall point before we move on. But Kyle Snyder, dude. Actually, is this the end? Say Kyle Snyder, he goes and wins a gold. Does he retire on top? We had Jaden Cox retire.
National signing of his Formula 1 career this fall. The sign of retirement, Jaden Cox, who has represented this country as a world champion. Olympic medalist and a three-time NCAA champion from the University of Missouri.
We had Mark Hall hang him up. Is James Green? Is Burroughs? Is David Taylor? If Dake wins, is he done? So many big names.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, this is the end of an era. Even Gable Stevenson. Does this mark the end of Gable Stevenson? Like the fact that he can't come back again in 4 years and no, dude, that's not happening.
Yeah, I
mean, could we possibly have the end of Jaden Cox, Mark Hall, James Green, Jordan Burroughs, David Taylor, Kyle Dake, Kyle Snyder, Gable Stevenson?
Well, no, they're not all done. Like for instance, James Green says, he got that new hip. He feels better than he's felt for a long time.
That's crazy.
So he lost that heartbreaker. Who in the heck he lose to again? I forget. But, I hope not. And I actually hope David Taylor tries for this world championships. I mean, he's not.
That is a tough pill to swallow if I'm David Taylor, dude. I don't know if I can swallow that pill. I'm sorry.
That is, but.
I mean, dude.
I'm not. Who knows? You'd think if David Taylor was done,
era, folks.
He signed that contract. If he was done, wouldn't he be taking his shoes off right there at his home?
That's what I can't figure out. That whole contract confuses me. Because,
I hope he's not done. I'm happy. I feel great about Brooks going. I would have felt good about it whether it was Brooks or David Taylor. But I think what you said about the very first exchange, I think it did play a role because I'm here to tell you, Zach, that was not the same David Taylor I know that I was watching.
No.
It looked like something was bothering him. And maybe it was more than just the fact that he had all this rust and it was just coming out of the gates. I mean,
I'm telling you, all right, I'm not going to act like I've been a serious athlete. I played sports pretty competitively. I know, I can tell you in moments, dude. I can tell you specifically games that, dude, it was I can tell you in the state semifinals, one pass screwed me up the whole game, dude. One pass. It was a screen pass that I just completely
Very first pass.
Dude, that threw me off the whole game. And to this day, I'm like, why? I don't understand why I couldn't just drop that and let that go and move on. I'm telling you, dude, it happens in sports.
That's true.
And if
That's true.
And if he was walking out there thinking, dude, he's just going to bully Brooks around, and all of a sudden Brooks bullies him around and tweaks his knee or something or his head, and big game changer.
Do you have anything else?
No, moving on, dude.
I got to bring this up.
Okay,
first.
go ahead.
Okay, we should have did this at the very start. Our fantasy that we ran Okay.
Yes.
For the record, the top 3 we said earned prizes. That was Edgy Man 1, Jack McGreevy 0, and Crossface 99. That was our top 3. If you contact us, how can they contact you?
Facebook, YouTube, email, comment, Twitter, anything, any source possible.
Yeah. We said that you have free things from our catalog. I think
From the
third place
website,
got
from the
1.
store.
Second
First place
got-
gets 3. Second place gets 2. Third place gets 1 free thing. Anything off the website. Please let us know, dude. We want to reward you for your genius.
And I tell you, Edgy Man's team at Nationals,
dude.
yeah, he had
Was
Figs,
unbelievable.
he had Vito, he had Mendez, he had D'Amelio, Andonian, Carr, Starace, Keckeisen, Hidley, and Davidson. Wow. Anyway,
Touche. And
we want to do that again, and
we will be. We're teaming up with WrestleStat. I already talked to him. So
yeah. And the thing is we didn't want to act like we just backed out of what we originally committed. Great job, Edgy Man 2, and all 3 of you, and thanks to all of you guys for participating.
While we're on the topic, though, NCAA championships, you did mention you wanted to touch on the HODGE winner, Aaron Brooks.
Yes.
Officially, because you have been officially on vacation for forever. No, everybody forgot your name, dude. Now, what do you think of Aaron Brooks winning the HODGE?
Absolutely the right thing, no doubt. And, as great of a year as Keckeisen had, still, this was a slam dunk. And it felt good. No, I do. I gotta bring something else up. Okay. You talk about inspiring people. We have one of our regulars on BEG Facebook page, and I got to texting with this guy. I can't wait to meet the guy. Michael, I hope I'm saying the last name right, but if I am not, then you're right there with half the wrestlers that I'm talking about. Bambarger. Michael Bambarger. I want to have him on the show sometime this off season.
You're invited to the show. Come on.
We're going to have Mike
Tell
on.
him what he did.
He's got I don't want to get into a story. I'm going to let him. I'm telling you,
sweet.
This is an inspiring story. It ended with he got over a whole bunch of very difficult hurdles.
We don't want to spill the story. We want you to come on.
He lost a whole bunch
of
of weight and ended up wrestling at the Fat and Bald tournament. I want to hear about the whole story because it's the kind of thing that's just inspire
you.
Yeah, and so we're going to have him on at some point this off season. No
get
doubt.
in touch. Emails in the description of the episode.
Yeah,
and obviously Facebook, anything. But okay. Are you ready? You got anything else, man? We got a lot of catching up to do, folks.
I got a whole
We're gonna be bouncing around. It's been a month and a half almost. Why don't we go to recent events? U.S. Open results here, which just happened now. Yeah. Okay, now.
Yes.
And
yes,
we did have some upsets, but I mean, I don't know. I guess what are the moral of the story here? If you're talking U20 Penn State finalists, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 10 Penn State.
This is where I wanted to keep it quiet and get your take. Both you and your brother have said to me multiple times, a dynasty is good for the sport. Mm-hmm. You guys have said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree, and I understand your thinking. We're talking like, say, with the Patriots a few years back, because they had a dynasty going, but the Patriots were still beatable. Ask the Giants, right? Mm-hmm. The thing that I'm with, why am I rooting for other teams, the Iowas, the Oklahoma States? By the way, I don't want to root too much for Oklahoma State because they are loaded and coming. And by the way,
right on the heels of John Smith's retirement, but we'll talk about it.
Of the portal winners, Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech, and Michigan got Cardenas and Saldate.
Penn State loses Mason Gibson. But you're saying Oklahoma State. Okay, OK State. Wait, Michigan. Wait, is Bourmet back in the? Is he going to be a 2-time MVP winner? Also, the Most Valuable Purchaser Award, our MVP, Sean Bourmet. Most Valuable Purchaser.
He's in the running.
He's
in
he's
the
a
running.
front runner. He's starting out of the gates hot, dude.
Virginia Tech's got McGonigal, and they also got Wolak. So Virginia Tech made out quite nice so far dude? In this portal. And the other one, the one that this team is, this is the biggest threat to Penn State this coming year, and that's Oklahoma State, in my opinion, more so than Ohio State, because Oklahoma State's got they got Fish and they got Hamidi from the portal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we've all seen Christian Cael. There's no doubt they have a major stud in Christian Cael. They got other major studs on that team. I'm telling you, Oklahoma State is starting to scare me.
Goodness.
But
why would
to
John
go back
Smith
to
retire now?
To close the point I was making is you want these teams. I personally love what Cael's doing and what Penn State this run, but you don't want the gap to get so big that the suspense is gone.
Well, we've seen a lot of talk on social media. I mean, specifically, it was like Pyles and Tom Ryan going back. Tom Ryan mentioning how Penn State just has an unlimited budget. Maybe that is making it not competitive. I'll say this, dude. Isn't it a fact like no industry leader has led for like 4 consecutive decades? It just, I don't care how good you are, you just don't last forever. Something's going to happen. Maybe maybe the transition of John Smith out. Who do you suspect coming in? Nothing official, but pretty official.
Most likely Coleman Scott, yeah.
Coleman Scott will be coming in. And I don't know, is he the one bringing in these recruits? And we haven't even talked about Ben Askren, who I don't know what he's doing.
Well, Bono just got the extension, so
which that was confusing.
The rumors
Askren went there to get him hired or his brother. What?
Well, we were all kind of speculating. I think Monday is Ben's last show on FRL, and we thought, what's Ben doing? He's saying, I just want to concentrate in coaching. And we speculated that, well, maybe this is a head coach somewhere. It sure would make sense at Wisconsin. I mean, well, apparently it's not going to be Wisconsin. Now, I don't know. I still think he's moving in that direction, but either way,
Wisconsin direction?
No, just head coach direction.
I mean, off the top of your head, what would even the possibilities be? What would a school be? Because I think maybe he is the next threat to Cael, and you don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
All his wrestlers are going to Penn State. Why would he? I mean,
I don't know, but I will say that the ratings of the finals at nationals this year was one of the lowest that they've had for a decade. And part of that is maybe the suspense of who's going to win this. Now, us Penn State fans absolutely loved it. So I'm not rooting for anything bad to happen. I personally say let's keep this whole thing just going. You can't have enough distance between first place and second place. If Penn State's the first place team, I'm just fine with it.
It won't last.
But
it just won't
last. As a fan, and I care about wrestling in general, I do want teams to now. We hear there's rumors. Heck, over on the Hawkeye report, there's rumors. Teamer and Parco. I was trying to grab Teamer and Parco, so I was not done yet either.
Come on, Tom.
Have you noticed the portal isn't really taking off? Like we guessed the portal's just going to explode. You thought last year was a lot. Wait till next year, and it didn't. And what does that tell you?
Well, I'll give you my theory. I think as any new thing that happens is introduced to a business or sport, it's going to be a little chaotic at first. I think we went through that chaotic. It's almost like a new stock when it introduces to it's been an IPO. Very volatile. But then after a little bit, it kind of stables out. Maybe this is our first year of NIL stabilization.
Well, why. The rumors, the numbers that were rumored and thrown around on the internet. was false. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and some of these big names. Now, Alirez wouldn't be one because they say he's very, very loyal, and I like that. But you say a guy like Alirez could go out and get $1 million thrown his way to come to that team or something. I think a lot of them numbers were blown out of proportion. Although I've also read from some pretty good sources the figure of $400,000 per semester. $400,000 per semester.
Carter was off. What was the one thing I read? Carter offered something.
I don't know.
$400,000 to come back.
Yeah, I don't know. And does any of us actually know? But the fact that the portal's not bigger than it was last year tells me that them numbers aren't what everybody thought they were. Because some wrestlers would probably transfer. Not everyone is loyal like a Lirez. They would transfer to get financial help. And
yeah. Well, I mean, I truly don't know. I do just want to clarify that here's how it works and correct me if I'm wrong here. So money that a university makes is not zero of those dollars can be contributed to an NIL fund. An NIL fund is an entirely separate booster fund, correct? That people can either put towards or not. Like if I'm correct here, it's an entirely different fund than, like, it doesn't matter if it's a big university and they made a lot of money. If Elon Musk graduated from Lehigh, they would probably have all the best wrestlers if he wanted, because he would simply contribute to the NIL fund. I don't know. I don't
understand that either. All I know, I've always said I'm not a fan of the transferring. I don't. But at the same time, I don't want to take NIL money away from the kids. It's their name and image. They
True.
deserve
Speaking
it.
of one thing, I
just wish they police it better, and
it's evolution. Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah, just do a
hopefully.
Yeah, an audit of it to make sure everything's being done. There's some things you can't do. You're not supposed to talk to a wrestler that's not in the portal, and that's probably being done. Well, I know that's being done. And same with paying money for. There's nothing involved here, NIL. We're just going to give you money if you commit to this school. That's not supposed to be allowed. Anyway.
You brought up one thing, though, that you haven't been on the show since, and that was like Tom Brands and the new Iowa AD. I don't know. You mentioned you might have some comments on that, because I ran a little special where I completely supported you, Tom, and said there's no way you can fire Tom Brands.
Well, the thing that, again, this is just how much truth is this? But there was the new AD kind of scolded Tom. Get your brother in line. Get Terry in line. You're not allowed to have AJ on that team this year. A lot of stuff. And there was just a lot of rumor about friction between the new AD and Brands.
I'm sure there was so much friction.
Did I word that right?
Yeah.
My take of that was the new AD dropped the ball too in this, because she should be watching what's happening out there on Twitter and know what's taking place, know what the rumor, watching the Iowa boards, know what you're dealing with. And maybe this has no effect, but if a wrestler who's trying to decide what school to go to, and he sees this school and there's rumors that the AD and the head coach are at friction, well, I'm not even sure if the head coach is going to stay there. Like what I'm saying, the AD should have came out and publicly made a statement of confidence concerning Tom Brands for their recruiting purposes.
She's doing Tom no favors.
She's doing the whole wrestling at Iowa no favors, and she might be
Or the
on a
football program
power
for
trip.
that case.
She might be on a power trip. Nobody's gonna mess with me. But think about
Wow, 2 power trips.
you got to be thinking about. Carter came on this week, and
Carter
Twitter,
Sriracha, I was going to bring him up. Yep.
and he says Jax Forrest, my favorite wrestler in the whole world to watch.
Come on, dude. We all know that.
Of all the wrestlers.
Clay.
Dude, we'll take it. That's the kind of recruiting
See
I'm talking
right
about.
through that,
you
Carter.
gotta get your wrestlers. Hey, chime in over here. Bo Bassett. I heard a lot of Penn State fans saying your mom dresses impeccably. I mean, just
Bo Bassett. Yeah, Bo Bassett just won
the whole
the
daggone state
US
college.
Open. Is he the only remaining open recruit who hasn't committed? I mean, you got to be kidding me, dude.
I don't know, but somebody get it. Someone make friends with
Do
Bo.
not go to
Quick.
Penn State, Bo Bassett.
Quick.
Don't go there, Bo. I'm telling you.
Back.
I mean, to your point, yeah.
I'm
some
telling you,
parity here would be nice.
There's all kinds
PJ
of
Duke. Do you want to mention PJ Duke? Because there's an up-and-coming dog. We should have a short episode about up-and-coming dogs. Rank them.
yeah. And
Bo Bassett, PJ Duke, Jax Forrest. I mean, Lilendal. Oh my!
I
goodness,
said,
dude.
you take a Michigan and they're whoring out that portal every year. Come on, we got transfer. Well, they got transfers galore, Zach.
Sean Bormet.
Now, if I'm
Sean
a wrestler, does that have any effect on the recruiting? I'd rather build my base from recruiting than from
please.
transfers.
You don't
Because
care.
if I'm, again, trying to decide, am I going to Michigan or am I going to, say, I don't know, Purdue, whatever. The thing that scares me about Michigan, they go out and grab a stud, like, first opportunity they can. They're just throwing money over there.
Wow. Yeah,
And,
maybe if these kids start.
they
to
could
think
bring in
a little bit
stud at
long-term.
my weight. And here I committed to Michigan.
Yeah, but they
Next
got
thing I
paid,
know,
though.
they bring in a national champ at my weight, and they could dog me. You know what? I don't know if I don't know about Michigan. That goes on the negative
Are
side.
you that
Check.
not confident in yourself that. Wow, if you're that
I'm
insecure,
just saying.
maybe you shouldn't be wrestling in the big leagues in the first place. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Good point.
all right,
Good point.
all right. But before I forget, it was Carter going up against Pat Downey.
Pat Downey.
Pat Downey.
Oh my goodness.
Pat Downey. How about that match? All right, I was there live. And
You know what the thing is about
Downey takes him down. And Downey talking that talk, baby. He's a Baltimore kid. I mean, hey, he comes out talking that talk, takes Carter down. I thought, oh my goodness, dude. Could we
Dude.
see? And then just
Dude, it certainly makes things.
Carter's overall. Where is Carter at right? I want you to tell me where Carter's at mentally. Okay, knee injury, wins NCAAs, then comes in, funky donkey misses, I'm doing 74, not fake out, I'm doing 84. What is going on? And then he goes out, and then obviously he doesn't really do anything. Is
Well,
he
I
coming
thought
back
he did.
next year to
I
Penn
thought he
State
did
now?
quite. He tore up Downey, and then he went up against Hidley, who was at
And
97, and quite frankly, he was right there.
Yeah,
he was right there.
I agree with that. Yeah, okay.
And then I don't know how much truth is to this 97 for next year. That would fit perfectly because Penn State wants Barr.
But now he's hinting
At
at coming
84.
back now. And we just watched Barr in the U.S. Open here.
Yeah, Barr lost to.
We could talk about Barr. I mean, I
Sinclair.
might do
Yeah,
Josh
but-
Barr special.
But Barr is among the best. I mean, that whole U.S. Open.
So is Carter coming back?
Yeah.
And is he healthy?
He said the knee. That is just, yeah. He'll be healthy.
What was the injury?
The question to me is he serious about 97? Because apparently he said his dad loves the putting size on, lifting weights. So if he knows he's going 97, I say do it.
I think he should. Here's the other thing. I interviewed Bo Nickal. I don't know if you heard.
That's right.
And I asked him about who do you think would be good in the UFC. You know the first name out of his mouth? Carter Sriracha, dude.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the Bo Nickal interview, folks, Go watch
was
it.
pretty cool, by the way.
That's our first interview, dude. Bo Nickal.
I could have came and sat.
I said, we are here. I said, no, dude.
I could have came and sat with you
I
during
know.
that, but the
But
thing
you were on
is
PTO, dude.
the one thing I got to say to Bo, in case he's listening, is what a ginormous element to the whole thing that Cael's built up there. Because when you have MMA, a great place to go MMA, that's just like it's like a recruiting.
It's an American
tool.
system that is being built.
Yeah, because
all within
you don't
the
have a
same-
professional league, although we want to talk
You
about
want to talk about it? Because June 22nd, 23rd, folks.
The future of wrestling is here. More action, more scoring, more fun to watch. Professional wrestling is here. Claw Wrestling brings modified rules to increase scoring, action, and fan engagement. Just like real wrestling, but with much more excitement. Inaugural season in 2025. But before that, join us this year at the Claw Invitational, taking place on June 22nd and 23rd at Independence High School in Ashburn, Virginia. Tickets on sale now, including limited VIP mat side seats while remaining. Get yours by going to WrestleClaw.com now. The great sport of wrestling will never be the same.
Claw Wrestling.
Yes.
Listen, I want to make this short and sweet because I might play the promo that I already made before or after this. But Claw Wrestling, we're talking professional paid wrestling league. Okay, these wrestlers are paid annual salary. It's a professional league. It starts in 2025, but there's an event happening June 22nd and 23rd of this year in Ashburn, Virginia, Independence High School. It's a 2-day event. BEG Wrestling, we're doing pregame, postgame. I mean, we're talking big name, high name general managers. I mean, I know that they've reached out to Shane Sparks to call it. I know that they've reached out to like Bo Nickal to be a GM. I don't want to name drop people, but I kind of just
It's exciting.
Different
And
rules, dude.
Where I'm at with this Claw is, I'm a fan of both things. There's elements to both folk style and freestyle I like. Folk style, obviously, this stalling has to get fixed. Freestyle, I'm not wild about the whole exposure over and over. You put a cap. I like what Claw's doing. They're taking what they consider the strong elements from both. They're putting it together, and it's a mountain to climb, and it's going to have to be done right to be successful. But I'm excited to be part of it, and
We're gonna be a pregame show, dude.
we're gonna do everything
Of
we
a
can.
professional sport. No, this is a professional paid athletes, dude. You're watching the XFL, okay? Or here's a more comparable league, the WNBA. There's 12 teams in the WNBA. There's 6 teams that are on this, dude. Drafted, inaugural draft, dude. They draft their team. This is very comparable to the WNBA, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
like I'm telling you, and there's things brewing. Like
It's
like,
just there's
wanna
elements
say too
about
much.
wrestling that are you guys and us, we understand. I'm here to say that is sellable. The drama of this style guy against this style, and even having just if it's marketed better. And I'm not a big fan of the Pat Downey smack talk, or even Carter gets going sometimes on social media, but anything to sell the sport, anything to get it. We're going to see. That's exciting,
Womp womp.
and we'll be talking more about that.
You want excitement?
But
I mean, I was actually going to ask you. Remember that video you made fun of Willie? Do you want me to
Yeah.
take that down? Because you heard, dude.
what?
They heard it just took him out. He's knocking people out. Knocking people out.
He's not. No, he's
No,
not.
I'm just kidding, but I mean, I guess he was in some type of altercation with a fan.
Yeah.
Say something about Willie, dude. He will swing on you. You better not see Willie in person.
Hey,
I mean, that's why I was real nice to Christian Pyles when I met him. I didn't know. Is he going to swing on me, dude? That's why I came out. I approached him from the
No.
back, and I hit him with a... He knew. He had no choices but to shake my hand. I said, dude, I'm hitting you. You know what
hey,
I mean?
Willie wrestled for Easton, which is
Don't mess
that's a
with Willie,
powerhouse. That's a powerhouse in Pennsylvania. I think I could be wrong. I know he made it to the semis at States. I'm not sure. He was obviously very good. I don't know what happened at this. What was the U.S. Open that happened? but I seen a little bit about that. But hey.
Say something about Willie. Say something about Willie. What? Look out, dude. Listen, I'm out of topics. The only thing I do want to say, we are sometime in the near future starting a membership group. Now, don't worry, dude. You're going to be able to watch any and every episode fully. It will not affect that. There will just be going to be some extra things that we're going to add. But in addition to that, I don't know, man. It's been a month and a half. What else do you have?
Okay, I have just a couple that I want to. John Smith leaving.
We did not.
That, you know what? John Smith interviews are just fun. So that's just. I hope he's not out of the sport. I hope he's on a mic. Because I want John Smith part of this sport yet. Okay, all of the responsibilities and the work of being a head coach. Okay. How about being an announcer, John? That's
I like that.
Yeah.
And that man is owed his due respect.
Oh,
I mean, let's talk. Is he like the GOAT American Olympic wrestler?
I mean, it's
2 gold medals, one of 3.
It's either going to be him or
he's one of 3.
Him or Burroughs. Some people might say Bruce, John Smith, or Burroughs.
Yeah, but John Smith has 2 gold, Olympic gold. Baumgartner has 2 Olympic gold. Burroughs only has 1, right?
Burroughs has so many world championships.
Yeah, but that's not Olympics. I'm saying John Smith, dude, one of 3 Americans who won 2.
Wow.
Man is owed his due respect. John Smith, touche. I haven't exactly been the nicest to him over the
If you want to
year.
talk about legends, let me tell you about a legend.
Okay.
This guy has a record of 56 wins and 8 losses in the national championship semifinals. Who do you think I'm talking about? He's 38 and 18 in finals. Who do you think I'm talking about? Okay, now that's what I call
that's crazy.
That's what I call a legend.
That is crazy.
No, I gotta say something.
Back to my point about listen, you can't fire Tom because dude, he ran into Tiger Woods of wrestling. And dude, it's like a phenom who comes around this Cael, dude. I never loved anything in his life, apparently.
I got to bring something up here. I'm glad there's girls wrestling out there because there's babies being born all
By the
over
way,
the place.
before you go on, hang on. Okay, before you. I don't know. I'm sure she'll never listen to this. I want to interview Kennedy Blades. I want Kennedy Blades. She knocks off the 20-year-old, knocks off
Adeline
Gray.
Yeah.
And I saw it coming. I'm telling you, I was there live and I saw it coming, dude. And Kennedy Blades has swag and the coolest name in the sport, arguably.
Yeah.
Kennedy. I even saw her on Twitter. You can't message her. I was going to message her and be like, dude, can I interview you? Can't message her. Kennedy, if you listen, email me, please. I'd love to set up an interview.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. And I love watching Kennedy Blades. But you know what happened at the end of that? I had this much respect for Adeline Gray. And then afterwards, when she's holding her 2 twin little toddlers, and quite frankly, that was a great match.
And took that loss
series.
on the chin, too. And
that
showed
went
Kennedy Blades all the respect, yeah.
I tell you, that is impressive. And that's the kind of storylines that.
Man, it was that. We didn't really talk about the
awesome.
Women's, and it was like
that was awesome.
lore.
But talk back to babies.
Yeah, back to babies.
I know somebody else having.
Listen, I got good news, Iowa. I got good news, Tom. Hang on, Tom. Right now, Tom. If you can hang on,
just hang on, Tom.
16 more years or so, Tom. I'm coming! We're coming! There's gonna be a Beaver Hawkeye, baby! That's right! That's right! Get coming to Iowa!
You know I'm a dog! You gotta be kidding
You
me.
know my boy's gonna be hit tall, dude.
You know what?
And we are coming to Iowa.
The one thing I do like about this section's going to be all messed up. It's going to be all messed up right there. A lot of times Iowa singlets are all messed up after they come to Bryce Jordan Center. They leave and there's a spot right there.
No, I don't think
That's
so.
That's
On this time, baby. We're taking over time. We are taking over. Is that all you got? That's all I got, dude. What great news for Iowa, dude. A baby Beaver is already signed up with Tom. I already emailed Tom and committed.
Let's keep things on a regular basis. What?
Yeah,
next month now?
No, next week.
Next week. Where's my contract?
Oh my god.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Good to talk with you again, and we'll be more prepared next time.
Welcome
this is
back.
all.
I thought it was good. We covered it up a month and a week, folks. Until next time, this is BG Wrestling. Like and subscribe.